Ever wonder what people ate centuries ago, before supermarkets stocked the same dozen vegetables year-round? The medieval period, often called the Dark Ages, might seem like a time of bland, scarce food. But what if I told you their fields and gardens held nutritional powerhouses, genuine superfoods, that we've almost completely forgotten? During the Middle Ages, people relied on a diverse range of plants for survival. Many of these weren't just filling bellies. They were packed with vitamins and minerals essential for health in tough times. Yet today, many of these incredible vegetables are ignored, dismissed as weeds, or simply unknown. Here are 7 astonishingly nutritious medieval vegetables that have been lost to history. We'll explore what they were, why they were so valuable, and why they disappeared from our plates. Get ready to rediscover some forgotten treasures. Our first forgotten superfood sounds humble, but don't let the name fool you. Fat hen. Fat hen, or Chenopodium album, was incredibly common across Europe and other parts of the world in medieval times. It thrives easily, often appearing as a weed in disturbed soil, which meant it was readily available, especially for the poor. But weed doesn't mean worthless. Far from it. Fat hen is a nutritional champion. Sources suggest it packs more protein than cabbage, more iron than spinach, and potentially more calcium than kale. It's also rich in vitamin A and C. Essentially, it was a free, multivitamin green growing right outside the door. It was typically cooked like spinach or added to potages and stews. So why did we stop eating it? Well, its association with poverty and famine food didn't help its reputation. As agriculture modernized and standardized, fat hen was increasingly targeted as a competitor to cultivated crops, a weed to be eradicated, not eaten. What a loss. Next up, a plant with a rather regal name. Good King Henry. Good King Henry, sometimes called poor man's asparagus, is actually a relative of fat hen. This perennial plant was a reliable fixture in medieval gardens, valued for its hardiness and long-growing season. Nutritionally, it's another powerhouse noted for being high in both iron and vitamin C, crucial nutrients often lacking, especially over long winters. Its versatility was key. The young shoots could be cooked and eaten like asparagus in the spring, while the leaves were used like spinach later in the season. Even the flower buds were sometimes cooked. So why did this good king lose his kingdom? It's a slow-growing perennial, and as faster-growing annuals like modern spinach became popular and agricultural practices changed, Good King Henry simply fell out of fashion and widespread cultivation. It takes a bit more patience than many modern crops. Our third medieval marvel comes from the coast, sea kale. Along a windswept medieval coastline, a delicious, nutritious vegetable was growing wild. The sea kale, Cramba maritima, is a hardy perennial native to European coasts. Its big claim to fame? Vitamin C. Historical accounts and modern analysis show sea kale is exceptionally rich in vitamin C, vital for preventing scurvy, a real threat in times when fresh produce wasn't always available year-round. Its young, tender leaves and flower buds were eaten, but the real delicacy was its thick leaf stalks. When covered with sand or pots to block out light, a technique called blanching, they become tender, white, and develop a delicate, slightly nutty flavor, often compared to asparagus or celery. Sea kale was popular enough to be brought into cultivation by the 18th century, but its decline likely stemmed from over-harvesting in the wild and the fact that cultivating it well, especially blanching the shoots, requires more effort than growing cabbage or broccoli. Number 4 is probably growing in your garden right now, but you likely consider it a nuisance. Chickweed. Yes, common chickweed. This low-growing plant, Stellaria media, is often pulled up and thrown away by modern gardeners. But in medieval times, it was a recognized and valuable food source. Its superpower, year-round availability, and a surprising dose of nutrition. Chickweed is known to be high in vitamin C, along with other minerals. Crucially, it often stays green and tender, even through mild winters, when other greens are gone, providing vital fresh food. Its tender leaves and stems have a mild, lettuce-like taste and were eaten raw in salads or lightly cooked like spinach. Why did we forget chickweed? Simply put, it got labeled a weed. As larger, more easily harvested greens like lettuce and spinach were developed and commercialized, tiny chickweed was overlooked and eventually just seen as competition in the garden bed, despite its nutritional gifts and resilience. Our fifth forgotten superfood is another plant many today try to eradicate from their lawns, the dandelion. introduced to many parts of the world as a food crop, not a weed. In medieval Europe, Taraxacum officinale was a well-regarded edible and medicinal plant. Nutritionally, dandelions are incredible. The leaves are packed with vitamins A, C, and K, plus significant amounts of iron, calcium, and potassium, easily rivaling modern superfoods like kale, and every part is useful. The young leaves were eaten raw in salads, often called pissenlit in French, hinting at their diuretic properties. Older leaves cooked to reduce bitterness, the roots roasted to make a coffee-like drink, and the flowers even used to make wine. So why the fall from grace? The rise of the manicured grass-only lawn in modern times turned the dandelion into public enemy number one. Its inherent bitterness also likely became less palatable as sweeter, milder greens were cultivated. We forgot it was valuable food and started seeing it only as an invasive weed, losing a readily available source of incredible nutrition. Our sixth medieval powerhouse is a leafy green that once rivaled spinach, Orach. Also known as garden Orach or mountain tensis, was cultivated across Europe long before true spinach became popular. It comes in vibrant red, green, and yellow varieties, adding color to medieval gardens and plates. Nutritionally, Orach holds its own, being rich in vitamin C, iron, and calcium. It provided essential minerals and vitamins, particularly useful as a readily available leafy green cooked much like we cook spinach today, boiled, added to soups, or used in fillings. Why did Orach lose ground? It was largely overshadowed by the rise of true spinach, Spinacia oleracea, which perhaps offered a milder flavor or better yields in certain conditions. As spinach gained dominance, cultivation of Orach dwindled, and this colorful, nutritious green faded into relative obscurity. And for our seventh and final forgotten superfood, let's look at a precursor to modern celery, Alexander's. Before cultivated celery became ubiquitous, Smyrnium olusatrum, or Alexander's, was a key aromatic vegetable and pot herb, particularly popular in Britain and Mediterranean regions during Roman and medieval times. Every part was used, stalks were boiled or candied, leaves added flavor, flower buds eaten like broccoli, and even the black seeds used as a peppery spice. Beyond its versatility, Alexander's provided valuable nutrients, including vitamin C and various minerals, contributing to the diet when other fresh foods might be scarce. Its strong, unique flavor, often described as somewhere between celery and parsley, but more pungent, was highly valued. Its decline began as milder, thicker-stemmed celery varieties were developed and gained popularity from the 17th century onwards. Alexander's, with its stronger taste and thinner stalks, couldn't compete and eventually reverted to being seen mostly as a wild plant found along coastlines and hedgerows, its culinary past largely forgotten. So there you have it. Fat hen, good King Henry, sea kale, chickweed, dandelion, Orach, and Alexander's. 7 medieval superfoods packed with nutrition that history largely forgot. And perhaps it's not a coincidence that our modern society is now rife with all sorts of health problems and diseases, many of which could have been cured or prevented by some of those medieval superfoods. It makes you wonder what treasures are hidden in plain sight, dismissed as weeds or lost to agricultural standardization.